Testing. Testing one, two. Okay. That seems to be working. Um Yo, what's up guys? I'm back. I like dipped for so long and I am completely sorry about that. So, just to give you guys a little insight as to why I've been gone so long was we took a trip, me and my partner and stuff like that. We took a trip to Disney and Universal Studios for the 4th of July. We left on the 3rd and we went to Disneyland and Universal Studios. We went to Universal Studios for the 4th of July, which it was a lot of fun. It was really, really hot. I'm not even gonna lie. It was so hot outside. Listen, where I grew up in the Midwest, right? So, Midwest heat versus like the West Coast over here is very different. You get heat index for, I don't know, a month, 2 months in the Midwest. And like over here, you might peak index heat, but like it's not as bad. It was not as humid. I will say that. I was not used to there being no humidity. So it was nice to experience dry heat for a change. So there's that. We went to Universal Studios. It was a lot of fun. I'm not even gonna lie, some of the lines were ridiculously long. Like at Universal Studios, there is a Mario Kart ride that we tried to get on. And literally midway through this long, and I mean like out the door type long, this long line, the ride decides to shut down. It literally shuts down on us as we're like so close to getting in line for this thing. Oh, it was a lot. But it was fun. Like I said, I've never been to Universal Studios. I've never been to Disneyland before. So it was a really great first experience. Disney was a lot less busy, believe it or not. So we saw the fireworks at Universal Studio for the 4th of July. It was so cool. I'm not even going to lie. I loved the fireworks at Universal Studios. And then we went to Disney. Let's see. We went to Universal on the 4th. We took a break. We took a rest day because we were at Universal Studios from the time the park opened till the time the park closed. And a lot of walking. I have blisters on my feet, y'all. I have blisters on my feet from walking around at both of those parks so much. So there's that. And then Disney. Disney was a lot of fun. I got to meet Jack Sparrow, and I got to let's see, who else did I meet? I met Jack Sparrow, I met Tiana, I met the mouse himself, I met Mickey Mouse himself. That was a lot of fun. Let's see, we got to do the Universal Tram ride, if you know what that is, like basically going through the history of Universal Studios. And then, let's see, I met Optimus Prime. No, we didn't meet Optimus Prime. We met Megatron at Universal Studios. He was pretty cool. All of the people that do like the dressing up in the costumes, y'all are the GOAT. I don't know how y'all did that in that degree of heat and weather. Y'all are crazy. But it was a lot of fun. I absolutely had a lot of fun. But today, to finally end my little ramble there, I am back. I did not die. I'm sorry. I'm alive. I did not melt in the heat, even though it felt like it. I'm not even gonna lie. I felt like I melted in the heat, and the only thing that kept me pushing through that tough heat was one of the really nice. I got a Disney fan, and I got a Nightmare Before Christmas fold-out fan. I love owning fans like that. I don't know what it is. It just makes me feel so elegant. But while we were doing all of this and all of that, a hurricane decided to come through. And Texas and a lot of the US got just wrecked by it. And that's like, it's not shocking, to be honest. I mean, you guys have seen the heat in the ocean and the heat sweeping the US right now. So it's not shocking that a hurricane formed, but it's not great that a hurricane formed. So I want to dive headfirst into the reports and all that stuff. I will return to my normal gaming schedule, most likely tomorrow, because I've been dying to play the Crab God game that I got, on Steam, and all that fun jazz. I'm taking a break from Subnautica for now to play Crab God because I've seen a lot of good reviews on it. But we're still doing an aquatic theme, I promise. So we're gonna jump into this. And then, like I said, I'm just trying to take a recover, stream day for y'all. So we're going to chill. We're going to go through the reports of this. I might see if I can find some articles and pull up some numbers on what exactly transpired, or like just the numbers on like the flooding and all that other stuff. So let's jump into the meat of this. All right, I'm going to do this.
Now we're tracking our weather impact alert this morning. This is the remnants of Hurricane Beryl as it continues to wreak havoc across the U.S. Take a look at this. This is a new video out of Vermont. Water gushing down the street, down this river in Winooski.
1 second. Well, I'm sorry. I'm literally pausing it right in the middle. I'm so sorry. Okay, never mind.
Following intense flash flooding on Wednesday that claimed at least 2 lives. Now, in upstate New York, the National Weather Service now confirms 7 tornadoes in total tore through that state.
7 tornadoes? I didn't even know. I thought it was just hurricane. Well, actually, I mean, if you think about it, that large of a supercell, I mean, again, with the heat and the cooling, it completely makes sense as to why there were tornadoes that formed out of this thing. I'm just like concerned at all this damage. Like
yesterday, downing trees and power lines and damaging roofs. Now, that's some of the remnants of that storm are connected to this area.
The Winooski area is actually right near Burlington, Vermont. So if you're familiar there were flood watches all across northern New York, up into New England. I mean, I've been tracking Beryl closely. I mean, it's been weeks, 2 weeks at this point. But ever since it hit the Windward Islands. But in terms of U.S. impacts, if you remember, this was back on Monday. We had over 100 tornado warnings over in Houston. And of course, the power's still out in a lot of Houston. And that's gone all the way up to Indiana with the tornado reports, and also New York. So Beryl is just causing, as you see there on the bottom of the screen, more chaos. And guess what? We're seeing more of that coming our way. It's not going to be tornadoes today, but it is going to be rain and thunderstorms from the very periphery of the, I guess we could almost call it the ghost of Beryl, cold front that Beryl dragged through here, that has stalled off the coast and now is backing up on us. So that's why we have the weather impact alert for today. I'm going to break everything down hour by hour. That's coming up in my full forecast.
So you're telling me, and I paused it right at the end, so don't get mad at me. You're telling me that there were over 100 tornado reports out of this thing? What was its category by the time it made U.S. landfall? I'm curious, all right? Hang on. I'm rather curious. What are the numbers? What are the numbers for this? Let me pull this up. Don't get mad at me. I want to pull up some facts here. I don't like that stupid. Ugh. Hurricane Beryl was a Category 1 with maximum sustained winds at 80 miles per hour when it made landfall in Texas. Really? I want to just quickly... Earth Observatory, of course this is on here. July 8th. After tearing through the Caribbean and the Yucatan Peninsula... Yucatan, don't judge me. Hurricane Beryl swept Ash Gore over the Gulf Coast of Texas on July 8th. The Category 1 storm had sustained winds up to 80 miles per hour at landfall and brought high gusts and heavy rain. Central daytime. On July 8th, about 3 hours after making landfall, it moved north towards Houston. Beryl dumped 6 to 8 inches of rain over the metro area. Dude, look at that. Just take a look at that. What? I mean, the fact that it's like so big like that, and that this is like the Earth, this is from satellite imaging, like, that's insane. Look at the eye of that thing. Beryl formed in the Atlantic Ocean on June 28th, a day after. A day. I gotta tell you. Okay, so... Jeez, what in the world? So, like... Dude, what is... I'm telling you, every summer, like the tail end of June and the, like, beginning of July is where the craziest historic weather events have happened. Like, June 28th seems to be such a staple point for huge natural disasters every couple of years or so. And I say that because in my hometown, on a June 28th of, I can't remember the year, but I remember literally, like, on June 28th, again, do not remember the year, but there was, like, flash flooding in my hometown. And it wasn't just, like, normal flash flooding. It was, like, I literally seen McDonald's that were almost practically underwater. Like, everything was pretty much flooded out. It was insane. McDonald's were flooded, like, all kinds of different restaurants were flooded. I don't know what it is. June 28th is like a huge staple point for a lot of natural disasters. Like, from June 28th to, I want to say, I don't know, what's today's date? The 15th of July? So, like, yeah, this honestly makes sense. Like, for some reason, between the end of June and, like, close to mid-July, there's so much natural disaster activity. It's just so weird. It's so weird that it's like, I don't know. It's really weird. Rapid intensification occurs when wind speeds increase by at least 35 miles per hour within 24 hours. Between the afternoon of June 29th and the morning of June 30th, Beryl's winds increased by 65 miles per hour to become an extremely dangerous category. So it reached category 4 intensity in the ocean. Wow. This explosive strengthening was fueled in part by warm ocean temperatures. Across the northern hemisphere, ocean temperatures for the January-April period averaged 2.12 degrees Fahrenheit, 1.18 degrees Celsius, above normal. Despite the warning, El Nino temperatures at the sea surface and at deeper depths are still above average in many places. Really? What? I mean, like I said, this is not news to me in the sense of there's always weird activity and, like, a lot of destructive activity around this time of year. This is very typical for, like, hurricane season and tornado season. I'm just so shocked it, like, grew that quickly. Like, it just said, "Hoo-wah." It's like, I'm gonna grow. And this is from NASA's website, so if you guys want to look this stuff up and see, you know, what I'm looking at, this is on NASA's, website. Let's see. After making landfall on Carriacou, I believe that's how you say that, Carriacou Island in the Caribbean on July 1st, Beryl continued to strengthen. On July 2nd, the storm became the earliest Category 5 hurricane observed in the Atlantic Basin. Wow. Jesus. An astronaut aboard the International Space Station took the photo above on July 2nd. Wow. So, yeah, just a regular astronaut took a look down at the Earth and seen this monstrosity and was like, that's no good. Jeez. Wow, we're getting some, like, weird activity. That's kind of what we've got on it. Beryl downgraded to a tropical storm a few hours before making landfall on July 8th, but as soon as of noon local time in eastern Texas, hazardous winds and flooding rain continued to batter the region. Dude. What? No, like, so serious right now. Like, I mean, look at that thing. Like, that is... Can I get a bigger image of it? Yes, I can. Look at the eye of that thing. Look at that, bro. You can see, like, just the outer walls of it. That is crazy. Look at all the little puffed clouds just getting sucked into this thing. There's even more. What? Man, look at how beautiful everything looks from space. I want to go to space just to simply experience looking down at the Earth from up there and just like seriously, I could not imagine this astronaut's reaction of just looking down at the planet he calls home and like seeing this monstrosity of a cloud formation just like, sorry, friend. I'm joining you on your little spacewalk here. What? I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. I'm laughing because I'm shocked and just like so aghast at how huge this thing looks and how insane of damage it had caused. That is not something that you see every day. That's not... Truthfully, that is not something that you see very often. I'm just gonna look up. I just want to see. Let's see. What did the National Environmental Satellite... Let's see what they said. I just want to see. Okay, everybody keeps saying La Nina and El Nino. I don't know the difference between the two. Because again, I'm not a professional. I know what to look for when tracking like tornadoes and stuff like that, but I am not a professional meteorologist or a scientist, so somebody let me know what the heck the difference are between the two. Hurricane Beryl, the first hurricane of 2024 Atlantic hurricane season, rapidly strengthened to a Category 5 storm, unusually early in the year. This explosive strengthening was fueled in part by exceptionally warm ocean temperatures, that we already know that. Oh, wow. They even made a prediction, like, because of the ocean temperatures, they made a prediction that an 85% chance that the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season will be above normal. They even were like, they're looking at these ocean temperatures and they're like, excuse me, this is gonna be insane. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, we run on a cycle when it comes to, and this is my beliefs. Nobody has to believe me. Nobody has to take my word for it. But I mean, think about it. Every 4 years or so, we're getting these weird, crazy, like insane weather events. In 2017, Texas got hit by Hurricane Harvey. I remember when that happened. I was a kid. I was in middle school at that time, dude. Like, I remember when all of that happened. And Texas was like devastated by Harvey, I believe. And it's just crazy. Like, this is literally insane. Like, how... We need better hurricane measurements or something. Like, we need to, like... And I'm just spinning an idea. Nobody is going to take it, and nobody's going to, like, really do anything about it. There's not much you can do when it comes to weather. That's an unpredictable force. But, I mean, if Texas has gotten hit this many times and has experienced this much devastation, I mean... It costs so much for hurricane repairs and everything like that. And a lot of people, I believe, had evacuated Texas. I mean, and it literally sent twisters. It sent twisters, tornadoes up to New York. What? That's crazy. That's crazy. I honestly thought that a lot of the remnants of Beryl was going to maybe reach the Midwest of, like, spitting tornadoes. No, New York got the tornadoes. Like, what? That's, like I said, that's insane to me. That's just crazy. Oh my gosh. What? That's just odd. That's just crazy. Give me 1 second here, guys. I'm doing something. Sorry. My lips are chapped. Hate that. I mean, to be honest with you, again, this is not shocking, but I also noticed, like, we're close to the ocean, so, I mean... We have gotten... I've noticed, like... The summer... The almighty coffee lord has appeared once again. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm talking about Hurricane Beryl and all that stuff, but I literally went to Disneyland and Universal Studios for the 4th of July and all that other stuff, and I got so busy. But I'm back now. I'm alive, and I'm just talking about, like, the insanity that was the hurricane. Yeah, no, for sure, like, there was so much going on. Like, every year, there's always some weird weather events that happen from the end of June to, like, the beginning of July. Like, from what I've experienced, it's literally just been nuts every single year. And I've also noticed it didn't involve weather. Yeah. I feel so bad for the people of Texas, because it's like they get these weird hurricanes sucked right into the Gulf. You went to war? Where'd you go to war? What? Like on Call of Duty or something? I've just been looking on just like the facts and stuff like that. I want to see just kind of the life cycle of it. Okay, you can go away. Hey, oh, that's so cool. Really? Oh, that's awesome. I love medieval stuff. I went to a Renaissance fair for friend's wedding of mine, and it was so much fun. Oh, that's a lot of people. Oh my god. I felt crowded at like Universal Studios and Disney alone. Like, ugh, I could not imagine. What? Why did it kick it out? What is happening? 7 messages were deleted by a moderator. Stream elements timed out. Why did it do that? Oh my goodness. Freaking stream elements, dude. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that it kicked you out. I don't even know why. Let's see.
It was.
I'm
scary.
sorry. I don't know why. I don't know why my setup does that sometimes. I seriously don't know why. And I apologize in advance if it kicks you for some reason. Oh, I imagine. That is literally insane. I went to a Renaissance fair one time, and there was just like so many people. And I remember one dude, he was so cool. He had like a whole like armor set on, and he had a big chunky sword he was carrying around. And I was trying to get around him to go to one of the shops that was close by, and like the end of his little foam sword bopped me in the head, and I was like, dude, how do you carry that thing around? Like, it looks so heavy. Oh, that is cool. Dude, that is so cool. That's so awesome. Oh man, that'd be cool to go to. I seriously want to go back to the Renaissance Fair in Minnesota, because that's where I went, one of the biggest Renaissance fairs. I had so much fun. Literally so much fun. Yeah, I died very fast. I feel that. That's how I am in like any, like, if you've seen me stream Rainbow Six or anything else, I die so quickly. I'm terrible. I'm so bad. All right, let's pipe back over to this here.
And the water was coming in. It was coming up way past up the driveway, covering the road. I was looking out the window. I could just see it like the ocean's right down there below me. It was very scary. Some of the roof flew off. We had a couple trees come in the yard, tore off some of the garage. From the beach out there, just coming straight on in. I was looking out, sitting on the couch, looking out my window. Well, you can't see anything, but I have a light that's a solar light, and I would look out my window, and all I could see was just the ocean rolling in under the house.
This poor lady, dude. She literally stayed in her beachfront home, bruh. What? Listen. If the weatherman tells you to evacuate, you evacuate. You don't stay at a beachfront homeside, bro. That's dangerous. Also, 110 centimeters long. What? Not good. Yeah, 4 spears and 3 shields. Oh, that sounds so intense. Oh, that's so crazy. It kind of reminds me of when I went paintballing for the first time. Oh, man, I want to get back into paintballing, too. Dude, the first time I did paintball, I mean, I died quick, but it was a lot of fun. But let me tell you, getting shot in the thigh, oh, getting shot in the thigh hurt, bro. The paintballs hurt. But in duels. Oh, yeah, duels, I bet. Dude, that sounds like so much fun. Yeah, that sounds so awesome, dude. I want to do something like that. That sounds amazing. What? That's crazy. Literally insane. I seriously need to go back to another Renaissance fair because they are so much fun. But the thing is, a lot of the Renaissance fairs are thousands of miles away. And I don't have that kind of money to get on a plane. Not yet, anyway. Not yet. I'm manifesting that we will eventually. But yeah, it's like, I bet it was probably kind of heavy to swing. Because PVC pipe is not, like, PVC pipe is like light, but it can get heavy if you're not careful. It's so cloudy today over here. Whoa. Dude.
Everything out here was flooded. All of this out here, completely all underwater, just like the ocean. All of it underwater. It was just bringing all this in. It was just literally like our house was on the ocean. But it was turned over yesterday.
We have one that needs fixed.
As heavy as a longsword? That's crazy.
Is the fence. Well, it ripped out all the fence, and then we have the debris up here, and the water was coming all the way up to my office right here.
Okay. The Corona Extra shirt, yo, that is so real. The Corona Extra shirt is so real. If you know how to swing the weight the correct way and how to use that weight to your advantage, can definitely be very beneficial, for sure. I can't imagine how hot it was, though. Like, I bet you were sweating, because, like, I was, like, dying at Universal Studios this past weekend. Like, it was hot. Heat.
This fence, when I looked down, the wind was blowing so hard, it was lifted all the way up, just flying like this.
What?
This house is pretty bad.
Yeah.
It all came off. All this whole siding came off on this house.
Jeez.
And the stairs fell, everything on this house.
Windows are taken out.
The emergency management team was out here earlier looking at it. They're probably going to disaster it, I would assume.
Yep.
Yep,
it's in the air.
Got everything on the house rusted out. Everything.
Yep.
Everything's rusted.
What does it do? Oh my goodness, my auto mod. Hang on here. Hello. Dude. Why? I apologize in advance. I'm so sorry. But my stinking auto mod keeps doing this. I don't know why. I apologize. Please come back. I'm sorry I kicked you out for 30 seconds. I apologize. This auto mod is kind of annoying. I'm not even gonna lie. People will be telling me about cool stuff, and then all of a sudden auto mod's like, nope, I'm kicking them. Auto mod does not like anybody, to be honest. Sometimes, like, even like, because I have actual moderators, I have one mod actually. I don't know what he's doing right now. He's doing something, but I know, I was trying to tell you, like, you can't talk about your really cool experience. How dare you do that? No, I'm just kidding. No, sometimes, like, I clicked allow for your message, and it was like, no. Automod doesn't even like me. It's like, you want to give permissions? No, you don't get to do that. Dude, this poor lady's beachfront home, bro. What? The destruction on that house. That is literally insane. You need to, yeah. It's like, it's kind of like in Skyrim. Like, if you've ever played, I mean, I'm going to assume everybody's played Skyrim before, but, like, I always do a one-handed sword run with a healing magic in one of my hands, typically. Just because I know for a fact I take on enemies that I shouldn't. I should, like, wait until I level up, but I take them on too early. And then I die and I question why. But then the last time I did a Skyrim run, I was running a two-handed, either a warhammer or a battle axe. I can't remember off the top of my head. It was one of those two things, and it just did so much more damage, and I was like, why don't I just do this from now on? Like, if I really need to heal myself, I'll just swiftly, like, heal myself with the ability. This has turned into a, yeah. That's the thing. It's like, the thing with, like, the heavier weaponry is, like, you get the bonus of getting a hard hit in, but then you lose the Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. It's like you get the benefit of a hard hit, but you lose the agile and swiftness that you would with like a dagger or like a regular one-handed sword. Dude, that is so crazy. I can't even imagine. Um like I said, this has just turned into a fun little side. This must yeah. Well, I've also noticed too, especially with like two-handed weaponry, it's really I got sent to the first aid tent. I thought, I need more agility. Yeah, no, really. It's so real. Cuz it's like anything typically like if I were to go to like an event like that, I would either bring a dagger or like a short sword cuz like I am no good when I'm without my agility. Yeah. Yeah, I bet. That's literally insane. Um the only thing I've ever done, like I said, that comes close is doing paintball, and paintball really hurts. Like I had paint all over they were clothes that I was gonna ruin anyways, so it didn't matter, but like I had paint all over me for weeks. I found that stuff underneath my fingernail. I'd use him as a shield at that point. I would grab him and be like, "You're my shield now, run!" I would willingly use a friend of mine that had a shield as a shield. Be like, "You're my shield now. Come with me." Oh, that's so funny. I want to see. This is 6 days ago. Yeah, that sounds about right. You know what's so funny too is like, I swear this is the thing with like, oh no, not three of them. Oh no, oh no. He's like lagging IRL, like death, or I can't say that. Oop. Windows shutting down noise. Nah, 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 nah. Right, you're like, ah! Do like okay, my brain, come on now. Do a barbarian like rage cry, like ah! Bro rolled like a net one at trying to block all those three enemies. Ew. I bet that, dude, just like in your side too, like ew. I would be like in pain. I would at that point I would just lay on the ground and be like, I'm good. I'm dead. Leave me alone. Ow. That sounds like it seriously hurts. I like truthfully, I would just be laying there in pain, and I simply just would not move at that point. Let's see, dude, look at the freaking rain coming off of that sign. There it goes. Down she goes, dude. That is literally insane. Dude, look at the sparks from that, dude. Whoa. Wow. You can see the rain. You can see the way the rain is like coming off of this building, and the wind is so intensely powerful, like it's still kind of holding shape when it comes off the building. That's so insane. Like I can't even imagine the wind speeds on this. physically can't open my eyes. Dang. No, at that point, I would just be like, I'm going to bed. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. You cannot make me understand. My left eye. Ooh. Ow. I would have. There's no way. I would just. Nope, not for me. I'm not good with pain. I'm good with pain to a point. I used to work with dogs for like my first job, and like I got knocked around all the time. But I could not imagine being in that much pain. Like, there's no way. You can't get me to do that. Not once. Look at this, dude. What? Look at the way you can see the, like, look at how hard the rain is coming down. That wind is insanity. Whoa. Okay. Ew. That's crazy. Okay. Ow. That seriously sounds like it hurts. A little lesson here for anybody who owns a vehicular of any kind. It could be electric and it could be gasoline powered. I don't care what you got. If you're ever in a flooded situation like this, the best thing for you to do is to park it and do not by any means turn on the AC or the heat, because specifically the heat, because the second you turn on that heat, it's going to suck up all that water and your car is going to be trashed. I'm not even joking. When you turn on your heat system in your vehicle, it is like a vacuum. It's going to suck all that air and it's going to try and heat it up. And it is going to destroy your car. So do not turn on the heat. That's why in any of the movies, when people are underwater and you're like, well, why don't they just turn on like the heater? Like it'll heat up. No. Do not do that. It is a vacuum. Your car will flood with water. You will drown. And your car is going to be royally screwed. I mean, it's kind of royally screwed anyways, but specifically if you turn on the heat, that is really going to screw your chances of your car. So, yeah. Look, anybody else notice also the 3 pickup trucks up here? Red, white, and blue. Hang on, red, white, and blue. What? Oh, I'm really glad that you had a really awesome experience. That sounds super fun. I honestly, that would be a cool event to go see. I probably would not participate, but it would be a cool event to go see. I don't want to get stabbed in the eye. Are we searching for anybody inside? Or is this homie's car? What are you doing, bruh? Dude. That's crazy. I mean, it just ate the whole street. My goodness. I bet. That sounds super fun, honestly. ¿Habla inglés o español? That's kind of real, though, to be honest. You never know who speaks Spanish and who doesn't, so...
Walk you out, and you're going to be okay. Do you have back pain? Yeah. Okay. Do you want to wait for the police? They're going to get a high water rescue out here for you. Hey, Abdul. Hey, man. So we're in like waist deep water with your friend. We can try and carry him out because he has back pain.
Jeez.
Or we can wait for the police. Okay.
Dude, imagine being stuck in that, bro. Like, that's so heartbreaking. And the reason why they probably don't want to carry him out because he has that kind of back pain is if something is severely wrong with his back, because it's no joke. When there's floodwaters like that, you don't know if there's rocks, you don't know if there's sharp objects. He could have gotten hit by anything. And they don't want to screw up his back any more than he has. That's why they're asking him what he wants to do, like how badly his back is hurt. Because if you move somebody with, you know, a type of back injury, there's the high possibility that something worse could go and something worse would happen, since they're not professional like EMS and like 911. So that is most likely why they didn't just, that's why they asked him, like, do you want to come with us? Do you want to wait here? Like, why? Dream Elements. Auto mod, stop. I don't know what's wrong. I seriously need to take a look at my auto mod. I will have the computer expertise, the computer wizard. I will have the computer wizard take a look at this. Either tonight when they get home, or tomorrow, or even the weekend. It might end up being the weekend until they're able to see what's going on with the auto mod. I'm sorry. Like I said, this is so annoying. Yeah, so that's a Toyota too. It's probably a RAV4. Ah, those are the EMS there, so. Jeez, dude. Look at the water.
Welcome to Houston.
Welcome to Houston. That's the realest thing ever.
To sit on the roof, wait. You can wait for police and high water rescue to get here. And now I gotta see if I can scale.
Yeah, they gotta ask him like about his injuries and make sure that he's not in any sort of too severe of pain, because like I said, I know, I'm so sorry that my auto mod is so bad. Like I said, I'm gonna have my computer wizard take a look at this and see if we can fix this little issue that I that I keep having. I'm so sorry. I apologize in advance. The computer wizard will probably help me around, I don't know, the weekend, since they do have to work. So I will have the hello. There it goes. I will have the computer wizard take a look at this coming weekend, and see why it keeps doing that, because that is really annoying. Dude, that is just like, look at the flooding. You can see the flow of the water is just crazy.
Is there somebody in there? Yeah.
Yeah, someone just come to the door.
Oh no. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, you see them big old tires. Chances are on this specific rig, this is most likely a flood rig for these specific situations. But a lot of the times with these type of fire rigs and these flood rigs, they have like protective shields underneath of them, and they've got them big old tires, so that way they can sit higher than a lot of the flood waters. Dude, I can imagine how much damage to vehicles, like how much people's insurances are being like, whoa. I cannot imagine the insurance on all of these poor flooded out cars right now. Like, oh, water in your engine and in your heating components are so bad. Like, so bad. And that is why people in this type of situation always have like a blanket and like some food and some water stashed somewhere in your car, because in case this ever happens to you, you have to be prepared. Wow. All right. Give me 2 seconds. I will be right back. I'm gonna go do something. I gotta go grab something really quickly. So I will not be that long. So just give me a moment here. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. It took me a second. Yeah, that's awesome. Dude, that's crazy. Uh, I'll have to look around social media, see if I find any of it. I apologize. That took me a hot minute. They're trying to get close to him as possible so he doesn't fall off and accidentally hurt himself. No! Dang, that sucks. I'm sorry, my dude. Dude, look at this. Like, bro is just trying to walk around in his poncho. Dude, look at the trees. Oh my goodness. This is insane. This is literally nuts. So we all noticed the fact that there are so many trees being knocked around by this thing. I mean, it's a hurricane. I mean, that's what's to be expected. But, like, the amount of destruction from this hurricane was absolutely mind-baffling. Like, just mind-boggling. And this is in Houston. This is in Texas. Like, oh, my. Everybody in Texas. Texas there, boy. When I first came over here to the West Coast, when I was making my move, we went through Texas, and dude, Texas is big. I don't think people really understand how big Texas is. Texas is huge. It is crazy, bro. Yes, I will have to check out that clip. Once I get off here, I'll definitely search for it and see if I can find it, because that sounds really fun. That seriously sounds super interesting and so cool. I'm sorry that you sadly had to sit out due to your left eye being a pain and being attacked. Sorry, I have cats. They're being goobers right now. They're just running around and just causing a wreck and a muck. All right, right on. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out once I pop off stream here, because that sounds super cool, super fun. Let's see, dude. Like, I'm still just so baffled by all of this. In, like, wow, there was, and then I heard there were tornadoes in New York. Because, like, yeah, this was 4 days ago in Buffalo, New York. And, dude, all of it is remnants from from Hurricane Beryl. Like, that's literally insane.
Vu in central Vermont. Flash flooding ripped through communities exactly a year after the same thing happened in that part of the state. This comes as the remnants of Hurricane Beryl dropped tornadoes.
So basically what ended up happening was when Hurricane Beryl made landfall here in the United States and then eventually dissipated, The remnants of the supercells and everything like that moved its way up and decided, I'm going to spin some tornadoes out of this. I'm not done yet. No, this hurricane said, I'm not done yet, boy. Sit down. I heard about that. I was just very shocked. There's so much going on right now in the United States. It's a lot. I was literally just chilling at home when all of it happened. Like, so much has been going on since the 4th of July here. Seriously, like, can we all relax? Can we enjoy summer? Can summer be fun like it used to be? I remember in, like, 2016, 2017, I was having, like, the blast of a lifetime during that summer. A lot has changed. A lot has changed.
In western New York, and power outages from the storm are creating life-threatening conditions in Houston. CBS News' Jared Hill now with the latest.
Oh, good. In a flash, roads in Barre, Vermont turned into rivers late Wednesday.
Say we're in a heightened state of anxiety, that would be an understatement.
The flooding comes 1 year to the day when strong storms left this part of central Vermont underwater.
If this is something that's going to happen every year, then it's unacceptable. It's something that people can't thrive through and they can't survive through.
In Erie County, New York.
Oh, Dad?
Yeah.
There's a tornado.
Ominous clouds swirl.
That kid, do you hear that kid? Dad, that's a tornado. No, it's a giant cloud. It's not gonna hurt you, son. Hey, look at here, boy. All right, that's a tornado right there, boy. That is your tornado right there, boy. Yeah, I feel bad for all parties involved with, you know, and anybody who was injured, hurt during that whole thing. Nobody in general should ever have to go through any of that. Like, it's just, it's sad, truthfully. But dude, you hear this kid? This kid's like, Dad, I think that's a tornado. No, son, that's just a giant cloud, and he's gonna give you a hug, and he's gonna take you on a ride. Are you ready, son? You're going to Hogwarts. Do 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 do. Oh, that reminds me. I went to Harry Potter Land at Universal Studios, and it was amazing. I had so much fun. It was so cool. I got to try butterbeer for the first time. I got to experience, eating, like, what they would eat out of the books. Like, they had the feast platter. It was like ribs, corn, and a bunch of other stuff. But it was really good. Like, I'm not even joking. I chowed down. I was like, this is amazing. I know that kid came. He's like, Dad, I think that's a tornado. My lord, would you like me to bring you the finest feast in the land? Yes, sire. I shall find you the greatest food known to man. Type stuff. I love doing impressions. It's very funny.
As two tornadoes hit the western part of the state, remnants of Hurricane Beryl. In Houston, Texas, where Beryl hit as a Category 1 storm Monday, hundreds of cars lined up for blocks to pick up food, water, and ice.
We have no food right now, nothing, zero.
The power is still out for over 1 million customers, and Wednesday, the heat index hit 100 degrees.
We need generators so we can have...
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. Dude, this dude's a mayor, and he's fed up with, like, there being no actual plan. I mean, Texas sits in a spot where hurricanes are going to be prevalent. They're going to be a thing. And if the government is not ready to start adding in these precautions and these aids so that way people can live. It's just ridiculous. I mean, they need a way to live when there's something that disastrous going on. I mean, why do you think the housing market in Iowa is cheaper than the rest of a lot of other states? Why? Because we're known for getting tornadoes and natural disasters. That's just how that works. Because you're willingly moving to an area that is known for spawning literal, like if a deity or a god stuck his finger and started spinning it around and he crushed your house, bro. That is why the housing market is so cheap over there. It's just insane.
Cooling centers. We need ice food. We need...
Oh, the battles had stories behind them? Oh my god, that is so sick. Dude, that sounds like a DM, like a D&D's DM dream. Why? It did it again. I'm sorry.
Boots on the ground.
Houston's mayor made a plea for resources and put pressure on local power companies, CenterPoint Energy.
We take a tremendous amount of pride in preparing for events such as this. And, I think we've done really great work.
From coast to coast, Americans are feeling the heat, scorching corn in North Carolina, while temps in Lancaster, California soared to nearly 110 degrees.
You can't even walk outside. You get this thing of hot air hit you right in the face,
leaving millions searching for relief. Jared Hill, CBS News.
Yeah, no, honestly, that honestly was the worst timing for any kind of that's interesting. But I mean, we need some form of like Midwest derecho threat. Wait, the Midwest is this now? Is this live right now? Is there another derecho threat for the Midwest again? Are we serious? Oh, the first one died of a disease. Oh no. That's crazy. What? That's wild. But is there actually like a Midwest derecho threat right now? In what state? Of course it's in Iowa. When isn't there something going on in Iowa, bro? Oh no. Jeez, yeah, that's crazy. That's wild. Dude, this is in Iowa right now. Iowa keeps coming back. Man. Yeah, I'm just like, I want to see more of the tornadoes here that hit New York. Let's see. Look at that thing. Look at it. It's trying. It's gonna try. It's gonna try. You can see it, like... I can't imagine being this dude standing out on his porch like, yeah, let me just film this right here. There are no consequences gonna happen to me. I'm totally fine right now. Listen. I understand if you are not from a place where tornadoes are prevalent. You want to get a video of it. It looks cool. It looks crazy in the heat of the moment. Believe me, if that thing turns its course and comes towards you, you have no time. None at all. Tornadoes and weather are unpredictable. Please don't play around with this stuff, guys. Come on. We know better. We were literally in elementary school, we're taught. Alrighty, have a great sleep. That's so awesome you got to do all that. I'll catch you later. But come on, guys. We were taught since kindergarten and middle school, if you see a tornado, run inside and hide. I mean, there are no tornado drills, I don't think, obviously over here in California or in areas where tornadoes are not prevalent. But in the same sense, you should at least do the research. Like, even if you're not from an area where tornadoes are prevalent, it still doesn't matter. It's like you should definitely do some research on natural disasters because weather is unpredictable and you never know what's going to happen. And that might just be me being paranoid and very, like, I don't know, ahead for my own head. But truthfully, everybody, if you don't already know about tornado safety, during the summer times is when natural disasters are most prevalent. The oceans are warmer, the temperatures are higher, and we're getting weird little drafts from down south and from up north. When those two combine with one another and they decide to rotate, you get hurricanes, tornadoes, you get all kinds of different things. Please make an escape plan. Make an escape route. Make a survival kit, because you might not think it's necessary until it becomes necessary. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to lecture y'all about that, so. Look at it. Look, it's trying.
Oh my God!
Brava, you don't need to yell like that. Oh my God!
Forecast is one that's going to be talked about for a while. I mean, there's
I want to see how they tracked this. I want to see what their predictions were.
Hurricane forecast, when we talk in terms of the most high stakes moments in a meteorologist's career. Thankfully, we have some tools, they're constantly improving, at our disposal. Supercomputers, as we've been talking, they ingest data from millions of data points around the world. And it's in an attempt to understand how the atmosphere will behave in the next several hours. Some forecasts go out several days. But Beryl gave our computer forecast models their true first tropical test, we'll call it, of the year. So the question is, did it pass? Remember this screenshot that we showed you as a Category 4 Hurricane Beryl was making a close call with Jamaica, and there was a lot of uncertainty by what are known as our ensembles, that each L represents where the center of Beryl could have gone. Obviously, one thing changed with our forecast models, or with one of the forecast models that give us a different solution. But we see what Beryl looked like as it began to organize. Once it hit the Yucatan, moved into the Gulf, several new atmospheric factors were in play, and we use these models to try to understand where the storm will go. Most showed a track into Mexico or Brownsville, but one model stood out, and it's the one we're showing you here. It was the Fox model. We had the cone, but we were also, Kendall, watching the Fox model saying, you know what, this thing's curving to the north. It's getting close to Houston, and one of the largest cities that sits along the Gulf Coast. It begged the question, we should be alert and understand what might be happening in Houston with that trend.
Yeah, we had early indications that places in South Texas could be impacted, and so it really hit the nail on the head perfectly. And so this is why it's so important. These forecast models, they get better each and every year, and it's really impressive when it verifies.
And
so basically, you're telling me that. So their original model predicted it would move more into Mexico. Their upgraded model said, nope, it's going to go towards Houston. And I mean, Texas and all of like the Gulf Coast should honestly, like, if it's headed towards the Gulf Coast in general, I think all cities should be alerted, notified, and verified, which is what they did. You know, the news team did their job and they did it well. But even if you don't think for a second that nothing bad is going to happen, most likely it's going to happen. I mean, always prepare for the worst. Because even if the worst doesn't happen, be grateful the worst didn't happen, right? Okay.
Even watching how the cone evolved too, from the National Hurricane Center, noting that curve. I mean, we look at the models all the time, but our next guest has actually made one. Jim Weber not only made the model, but he's part of our Fox family. He's a meteorologist at Fox 13 in Tampa. Jim, thank you for joining us so much, taking the time to speak with us.
Sure.
Let's first talk about the idea. Where'd the idea come from to make this Fox model?
You know, this is something that I've been doing down here for years, probably close to 15 years I've been doing this, and it really became an idea because of hurricanes. Down here, we were limited on the number of models that we had about 15 years ago, and so we kind of struggled with what we could show and how we could outperform and maybe give our viewing audience maybe something better, some other ideas, and help to keep the public informed.
Okay, I can't tell if it's my settings. Oh yeah, it's my quality settings. Sorry, guys. It only goes up to 720p. What?
And so this was something that we started about 15 years ago.
Bro's got like the low quality beam quality on right now.
Down here now, we started on a small scale when Fox Weather came along and really infused a lot of money into this idea. We took it to really a completely new level, and we've had a huge amount of success with this model over the past several years, and just continually upgrading this model. When you see a track like that, I'll tell you, when we were disagreeing with your major computer models, your GFS and your European model, and so much of the time there's so much focus that's put on that, and then you see a solution like we were getting from the Fox model, which was really showing more of that curve. You start to question, you're going, whoa, is our model just out to lunch? But you know what you do? You start to look at, hey, why is it saying this? And you start to see there are reasons why it was doing this. And, you know, and I've mentioned this to you up there in the past, you have to have faith in the model. If you see that there's a reason, go ahead and at least offer up that idea. And it really did really well.
Honestly, and two, just to kind of add on to what he's saying, and I will repeat this till the day I die, weather is always unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen with it. And you could have the best models in the world showing you like, oh, this is what the weather pattern is looking like. This is what these models are showing me right now. And it could still completely be off. Like, they can get close. They can get super, super, super close. But they're never going to be 100% to a T as to like, oh, it's going to directly hit this place. It's going to directly hit this place. They get extremely close, and this is why I like meteorologists. I am very impressed with their work because they do their best to try and go above and beyond time and time and time again to try and prepare us people, you know, us citizens for these natural disasters and these insane weather events. Let me see. Give me a second here. Okay. Okay, there's my model. Okay, sorry. But meteorologists will always, always, always have my support when it comes to, you know, trying to make better models, trying to find out different ways how to alert the public quicker and more accurately, because a lot of the time, like I said, some models could be off, and you got to also, and like he said, you have to look at why are these models giving us these numbers? Why are these models giving us these tracking, locations? There's got to be a reason for it. And sometimes there just isn't a reason for it. Sometimes there truthfully is not a specific reason for why a model or a computer does one thing or another. Sometimes it's just a fluke. But for them to figure all this out and for them to have these realizations and these breakthroughs is very awesome, and it's really great to hear. Because weather is a force that only the gods know how to control, truthfully.
With this storm.
It really did. You have to have faith in the model. That's a great kind of word of wisdom. Jim, 15 years, hats off to you and everyone involved in creating the Fox model. It's so important that it's our own. Talk to us about how really being able to tailor this model into what we need to look for, how that plays a key role with any tropical system.
Yeah, I mean, when you think of the GFS or the European or any other model that's out there, whether it's a global model or a regional model, they basically have to make it work for all customers. And so you have to kind of give and take on what the model does well on. And so you're trying to find that kind of happy medium in a model that maybe it doesn't do perfect on everything, but it will do a good job on most things. And what we're doing with the Fox model is we have a couple of different setups that we run. We have a couple of different domains that we run. We run one specifically for tropics, and then we run another domain which is specifically more tailored towards the weather over the U.S. going into winter weather for snowstorms and frontal systems. And so we can take those physical and dynamical processes, which are essentially just calculations, there's schemes in the model, and we can tailor it to use the ones that do well in tropical scenarios and the ones that maybe don't do as well in tropical scenarios. We're not using those. We're kind of making some assumptions on some things, because no matter how strong of a computer you've got, you look at this just amazing looking supercomputer on the screen here, and even that has its limits to how many calculations it can do. So at a certain point, you have to make some assumptions, and you have.
And that is so true. Like I said, there is no 100% guarantee to a T. You could run the fastest, insanest, like craziest models and like craziest computers you would ever want to own, to ever have. Like, this thing could probably run like over 1,000 different COD lobbies all at one time. And, it probably more, I don't know. But like, you can do the calculations over and over and over and over and over and over again. You could have the fastest, calculation of like computer calculating system, the greatest, the most insane. And even then, there's just some things that you don't have a whole answer to. You have to look at the data and make a hypothesis, and you have to find that evidence to back it up. You have to truthfully sit there and look deeply at what you are looking at and make sure that you give it the best go round that you could give it. That honestly, that's crazy. They were able to make, they were able to simulate and try and collect more of this insane data, because 15 years ago, we did not have as insane of a technology burst that we do now. And 15 years ago, this type of hurricane would have been insane to get data from. And now we have newer technologies and newer models and newer things. And it's changing the game in the sense of we're going to have better warning times. We're going to have better, calculations. We're going to have a little bit more accuracy in finding certain calculations and in preparing people in time for stuff like this. It's a lot. It truthfully is a lot. And like I said, this is why I love meteorology. I'm very entranced by it. It's very beautiful to watch. It's very interesting to watch. And yeah, that's really, really crazy. I truthfully am just so shocked. Like, I'm proud of the way that we have progressed these models so people can have a better chance against these insane, crazy, insano natural disasters.
Have to realize that some models are going to perform with certain types of calculations better than others, and that's what we're doing with this. Because it's our own model, we can make those changes and tailor it to exactly what we want to see and what we want to get out of the model. We're not concerned with making sure that it works for all our different customers. We're making sure it works for us.
Jim, I say, because we've been promoting that you're going to be on, I was like, we're going to look under the hood, and I don't want to get too much in the weeds, and I know that it's one storm, but not many shops are lucky enough to have an expert who can actually make a model. So your skills are unmatched in a lot of ways. It's early on. Do you have any indication as to why maybe the Fox model performed well with Beryl? Because obviously the National Hurricane Center, we were watching the cone, and there even have been some issues. We've had officials out of Houston talking about how this was unpredicted. CenterPoint Energy even saying the winds that moved over Houston. All those things. You know what happens after a storm. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback, Monday morning quarterback, whatever it's called. Why? Any initial thoughts as why it performed so well?
Part of it is because of what we do. We tailor this, the data and the calculations to really focus on more of those tropical aspects, but really, it doesn't matter what kind of a model that you have. So much of it is about that initial data going into the model, because you need that good starting point of the model. You need that perfect starting point, because remember, we're starting with a known position. We're starting with a known condition of the atmosphere, and then we have to calculate through time where this is going to go. And so if you start with bad information in the beginning, there's no way you can get the correct answer 5 days away. And so much of this is really boils down to good information. The information that we get from the hurricane hunters, when you see them flying out there and doing those extremely dangerous but very important missions, not only with the planes flying inside of the storms, but the Gulfstream airplanes, the high altitude aircraft, they're sampling all that data and getting us a much better picture of the atmosphere in and around and ahead of where this storm is expected to go. And we take that information, we take this information from sea surface temperatures, from satellite, and there's so much information that we have to put into the model to get that perfect starting point. Now, you're never...
That is also very true. You are not going to get a good outcome if you start out with bad data. That's just, the gist of it, When it comes to these hurricane hunters, which shout out to any hurricane hunters that decided to go insane with Hurricane Beryl, truthfully, collecting all of that very important, very niche data is crucial to understanding where this is going to go, how it's going to, play out, how it's going to affect the people that it's going to. It's so crazy. Just like a normal storm chaser, chasing tornadoes. They're always chasing that data so that way in those moments, people can be safe. They can get to their safe spaces. They can understand and figure out what they need to do in those moments. And especially with tornadoes, and I've said this over and over, you have mere minutes before the unpredictable can happen. And the same can be said with hurricane too, but hurricanes are given a couple of days in advance because it's such a large mass storm. It's going to take a minute to get to where it's going. Like, it's going fast, but it's such a large storm that it takes quite a few days to reach to the destinations that it's going to. And whereas tornadoes are just, they're funnels, they're quick, they're fast paced, and, it could take, mere seconds can be the difference, all the difference between life or death, in life and unalive. You know, it's just, truthfully, it is very important to understand what is happening, and the fact that they have, you know, upgraded their models and they have upgraded their computers and their calculating systems. This is going to, you know, gratefully benefit us as the people and the consumers, and, you know, the people that this is going to affect. This is going to greatly help determine what it is we need to do and how we plan to, you know, how we plan to execute our, you know, our own safety protocols, our own, you know, our own escape plans and our own routes. Because truthfully, in the Midwest, you don't get hurricanes, you get tornadoes. But over here on the coasts, whether it be West, East Coast, and the Gulf Coast, you are going to see more of those. I mean, Texas, if you go more inland in Texas, you are going to get your tornadoes. Like on the Panhandle and stuff like that, you're going to get more tornadoes and stuff like that from the middle of the United States. But if you are more towards Houston, towards the Gulf, you're got a higher chance of there could be a tornado, and then there could also be a hurricane. You never know. So the fact that they have been able to tailor these models and tailor their model to them specifically has given them and us such a boost in, you know, how we are going to proceed with the news of there's a natural disaster coming.
Never going to get a perfect starting point, but you want to get about as close as you possibly can to that. And then if you are applying those calculations in the correct way and focusing on the things that matter the most, then you have a much better chance of getting a better forecast. And that's what we've really strived to do with the Fox model.
It's evident, those improvements evident with Beryl.
Yeah,
it certainly performed so well. And Jim, we're a little more than a month out from the start of the peak of hurricane season. So what are you working on right now as we head into a very busy stretch and also into the next few years for the Fox model?
Yeah, because making a model is not good enough.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You got to keep giving.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's working. I mean, maybe a lot of people think that you just turn this on and it just continues to run, and it is far from that. It is a continuing to develop system that we're working with here. As we get more of this information, the information that's coming from the hurricane hunters and satellite, the new GOES 19 satellite is going to provide us even more information. And so we need to take even more of this information to put it into the models, and we find better ways of fine-tuning all this to really kind of find that best solution with the model. So we're always constantly fine-tuning this. So not only do we have the main production, what we call the production system that is pushing out the model, but we also have systems in the background that we're running tests on. We're running a parallel forecast to see, hey, is this the best setup, or is there a better way to actually run the model? So we're constantly doing that in the background, and from time to time we'll make little minor tweaks to the way we run it to help improve that forecast.
Yeah, that is true. And this is with anything. It's like with a car. I always am going to use a car as an example, all right? But like, you can buy a really super fast car and you can get it the best jump of its life. But if you're not, and you could get the best parts possible, but if you are not keeping up with that preventative maintenance and maintaining that car, you got to fine tune it. If you want it to go fast and you want it to have the best torque, if you want it to have, you know, the best, you know, traction on anything, you have to keep fine tuning. You have to keep up with that preventative maintenance. And that's the same thing with any type of weather model. It's like there is such unpredictability. You have to keep fine-tuning and feeding it these data points so that way you have the best chance, and not only that, but the people have the best chance to plan what they need to do and plan ahead of time for certain events. It's always about trying to make it the best and the most accurate. It's not that it's like a competition or anything. This is like people's lives right here in the palms of these meteorologists' hands. If they say, oh, there's going to be a tornado,
find something that maybe works.
That's not what I meant to do. But it's like saying a meteorologist is running a really bad model, and they predict, there's going to be a tornado that's going to touch down in Oklahoma, like anywhere in Oklahoma. And instead, a tornado touches down in like Kansas. Like those are two different states. So it's truthfully about trying to keep not only everyone informed, but trying to keep these models in the best running, calculating positions that they can truthfully be in. And that is so cool. This is interesting to me. I don't know if it's interesting to anybody else, but for a nerd like myself, this is awesome.
Works a little bit better.
Truly, in the science field of forecasting, we are only as good as our tools. I mean, we all have a gut. We all have a feeling that this looks a certain way, but constant improvement, that's what we like to hear. Thank you so much for joining us, the insight. I'm sure we'll be talking to you more. We'll be using your product even more. Fox 13, Tampa Bay meteorologist Jim Weber, good to see you. Thanks again.
So that's the gist of it. Those are my little talking points and just my little this is just a lot of my like personal insight and opinion and all that other stuff. But wow, we've been streaming for almost 2 hours. That's awesome. I just wanted to give you guys a good stream today. I will most likely be playing Crab God tomorrow, and I will be, cracking down on streaming more. Like I said, I went on a trip, and also there was some things on my streaming setup that needed to be tweaked and messed with, so that's why I haven't been on lately. But I'm gonna jump back into it, feet first into gaming and stuff like that, and it should be good. It should be great. But thank you guys so very much for watching me today, and I hope everybody had a great time. This was very interesting to talk about. It was very interesting to see all the data and to find out that Fox Weather is attempting to better not only just their models, but to take the research from this insane hurricane and put it towards their model itself. And just like that, my phone's almost dead. Perfect timing. But I hope everybody had a fun time hanging out with me. If you guys want to see more of like my weather and stuff like that, let me know in like the comments or shoot me I don't know, just don't. I am on TikTok, by the way. I am on TikTok. If you guys are, interested in seeing like clips of stuff and, just more. But I mostly post like a lot of my gaming clips on TikTok, so I'm also on there. I believe it's like, let me just quickly pull up the @ for my TikTok here, so that way y'all I can give you the most accurate. Hang on here. Okay, phenomenal. How do I swap my profile? What in the world? Oh, here we go. Sorry. Okay, I am on TikTok. It is SageIsTheName 6. That is where you can find me on TikTok. SageIsTheName 6. So, thank you guys, like I said, for watching. Oop. And I will catch you all later. Adios, amigos.